Welcome to this video in which we will talk about how to overcome a panic attack. Before we get to that, let's discuss exactly what is a panic attack. So often a panic attack or high levels of anxiety will feel very physical in its symptoms. You may have a racing heartbeat, you might find you're sweating, you're palpitating, it can feel sometimes like you're having a bit of a heart attack. And in fact it's quite common that people, when they are having a panic attack, will go to A&E and think that they've got a heart attack or something like that. So the real reason that panic attacks come on is because of anxious thoughts that we have. We find ourselves in a situation and we get that fight or flight response. Something has triggered our anxiety levels, but those anxiety levels are higher than they really need to be. And that's how a panic attack comes on. I myself a few years ago had some panic attacks, and it's not a very pleasant experience. And I think that if you've ever had high anxiety, you'll agree that on the outside you might look to other people like you're doing really well. You go to work, you follow your daily business, but on the inside you might feel quite fearful and you might feel that you're really only just holding things together. So why is it that we have panic attacks? It's because the body's response gets heightened and it gets exaggerated, larger than the actual fear that is going on. In the olden days, years ago, when we lived really according to our fears, back in the jungle, back in the forest, when there was something that was a bit scary, it really was about survival. If you think about that bear that was chasing you, you really needed that fight or flight response. If you didn't move out the way, if you didn't fight the bear, or you didn't disappear off and run away, you really would be in trouble. However, that part of our brain still operates today, and we find that when we're in a situation that is a little scary, that part of the brain can click in and our level of anxiety can be very high. So high that you can get a panic attack. So let me give you a couple of tips and a couple of helpful hints that you can use if you ever feel high anxiety or a panic attack. The first thing to remember is that nobody's ever died of a panic attack. It's totally harmless. It's really just those anxious thoughts that are going around your head. The second tip is to find some way to ground yourself. And by that, I mean find a way to feel more present in the present moment. So that might be moving your attention away from those thoughts in your head and moving your attention to just feeling your feet. You might even want to practice that right now. Just moving your attention to feeling your feet, or just noticing breathing in and breathing out. Perhaps you can have a go at doing that now as a practice. Just notice breathing in and breathing out. That might be noticing the rise and fall of your tummy as the air comes in and out of your nostrils. Just being more aware and present of something happening right now. For some people it's concentrating on a spot that they find in the room. Might be a spot on the wall or on the ceiling. Something that just moves your attention to something constant in the present moment. That's why breathing is often used for meditation, because it's something that's happening right now. My third tip is to find a way, in general, on a daily basis, to increase that relaxation. So look into meditation, look into things like mindfulness. Maybe consider exercise that you're doing. That can also be helpful. Going for a walk, spending time in nature. Get a piece of paper and write down some of those thoughts that are causing the anxiety. Some of those thoughts or situations. It might be something in your daily life or at work. It might be a thought that you're having quite repetitively in your mind. As soon as you write it out, you can already feel and notice that you're feeling less anxiety and concern. Also, writing it out will mean that you can start to think about if there's something you can practically do to change the situation. Fourth tip is to just notice some of those thoughts which are a little exaggerated. Those thoughts that are about the worst case scenario. And if you think about the worst case scenario, think about, well, what would be my plan if that was to actually happen? Probably realistically it won't happen, but if that was to happen, what would be my plan? What would be my plan for that situation? Great. So of course I help people reduce anxiety and panic using hypnotherapy. My belief is that really you don't need to have panic attacks, but anybody can be helped with hypnotherapy to reduce their panic attacks. It worked for me a few years ago when I had panic attacks, and I've used hypnotherapy really successfully with a lot of people. The idea is that you're actually tuning in and reprogramming your mind to no longer have such a heightened anxiety response. Training the mind to lower that response and increase that feeling of relaxation and calm. If you'd like to find out more about how I help people reduce anxiety and panic attacks, get in touch today. Send me an email, call, or you can also text me and I'll call you back. And today could be the day that you begin to reduce that anxiety, feeling more confident and feeling more empowered about your daily life, reducing anxiety and feeling calmer. I look forward to speaking to you very soon. Have a great day.